Good morning, everyone. So this is a recording of the Building Blue Mobilize training. Unfortunately, the session that we had in person did not record, but I'm going to go over it again, and so it can be emailed to you and make sure that we try to cover all the questions that were asked, all the specifics, and so I can make sure you guys see how to use the Mobilize account and how to set everything up. Again, my name is John Hicks. I'm from Surrey County, and I am the Digital Fellow with the North Carolina Democratic Party, meaning I work with all things Mobilize, graphic design, Zoom, everything like that. And I am here to be a resource for you for all of your Mobilize needs and digital needs in general. Just so you guys remember, my email is my first initial and my last name. So that's jhicks@ncdp.org. And I am always available via email for as long as I am at the Democratic Party. You can also email my, I guess I would call her my boss, Kayla Jacobs, which is kjacobs@ncdp.org. She is also here to be a resource for you, even well after I am gone back up to DC to complete my schooling. So we can skip all of these intro slides since this is not the Zoom meeting. And what is Mobilize? Mobilize is our system that we use to put everything for organizing and event holding in one place. It is a progressive platform used by Democratic parties, different nonprofits, different unions, everything like that, so that we can have our people who sign up for our events, who attend our events, their feedback, and all our events in one place for them so that they can see all this information in one place. Hold on one moment. I am getting a informational text. It's a great way to expand the reach of every it's a great way to simplify it, and it's a great way that we can help make our organizing as cohesive and as efficient as possible. So there are a bunch of different things you can do through Mobilize. One of our greatest achievements over the pandemic is integrating it with Zoom so that you can use them both together. All right. First thing we're going to talk about how to create. Now, during our earlier session, some people had questions about this, and what they were talking about was how, some of their county parties transition through different people. Hold on one second. Okay, it's how we transition through different people and how in party leadership, and somebody might register for Mobilize with one email and go and somebody else would use it. That's completely okay. That's completely fine. There are ways to fix that. You can do within your already created Mobilize. What we're going to talk about with this is just, the separation from it. If you do not have a Mobilize account already, how to set one. So how to set very simple, very easy. There is a form. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick. So if you see this right here, which should be in the slide, will all be emailed along with this recording. There is a link that you go to record your county's Mobilize account. And after you do that, you'll receive an email to be able to set it up. It's very quick, it's very easy, and it is free. So don't be afraid to go on and set a Mobilize account up. Your organization and your county will be so much better for it. Once you have set up, the most important thing to talk about is how to create an event. So when you sign in, I will walk you through this. When you sign in and you arrive at the page below, this is going to be your Mobilize home screen. You're going to click on the menu button. The menu button will bring a little drop menu, and at the very bottom of your profile, it will say Organize For, and it will have your organization under that. Click on the organization to create the event under and advertise events. So in this case, we're the Democrats. So we're going to click in the corner. It should be highlighted, bolded, and it should say New Event. You're going to click on that and it will bring a lot of the different settings for you to be able to use. So there are things, scheduled virtual event, online action, in-person event, your interest form, and petition. Scheduled virtual is what you guys are going to be used to. It's a Zoom event that you advertise before time. And so you'll just put, we're going to have a Zoom at 7:30 on June 24th. And it will, that's what you would use for that. Online action is for if you have, I don't know, say a phone bank, say Twitter posting, say different things like that, and you think everybody needs to be there all at once, that is what you would use for that. An in-person event, the same as an online event, just in person. That's where you're going to be gathered, and you're also going to schedule the specific date. A pledge or interest form, if you want people to take, that would be where you use that. So say your county organization wants people to pledge, I don't know, local primary candidates to pledge not to take money from big oil, big gas, things like that. You might use such a thing like that for that. And then there's also petitions. So say you want to petition Governor Cooper to, I don't know, grant clemency to X individual, right? Well, there's a platform on here where you can create a petition for, that kind of thing. So really, any kind of event you need to have an advocacy or activism is going to be listed on here, and that's how you would use it. So now I'm going to walk you through that and show you how to set up an event. So going back here, we're going to go to my Mobilize tab. It's a great little tab here, and this is the home page I talked to you about. So whenever you log in, this should be what you have. And now a big thing is you can have multiple people using this. So as you see, this is my account, and you can have multiple people all organizing for the same group. So this is my account. It's got my name. It's got my email. At the bottom here, it has organized for ... So click the North Carolina Democrats. Anyways, and when you click on that, you're going to get back to this main screen as you saw. So this is the event screen. And so there's a couple things I will show you on here later to re-go over some of the questions we had during our in-person event. But to create a new event, you're going to click new event right here. What kind of event do we want to organize? Well, let's say we want to organize a scheduled virtual event. It's going to be, I don't know, a governor. That is not how you spell governor, Governor, Cooper fan party. There we go. And type, we're going to call it a training event. There we go. So visibility, public, private. Do you want your event to be private or do you want it to be public? It has a little question here. It's not working when I click on it, but it's just, will it be listed to everybody who can go to the, I don't know, Henderson County Mobilize feed, or not? Public means yes, private means no. Event details. What's the event about? So our event is a celebration of all Governor Cooper's accomplishments. ... XXX. You can also put what time, you can put who will be there, do you have any special guests, different things like that. It's just, this is what goes on the statewide calendar. It is what tells people what this event is about other than the main headline. So that's where you want to put all your event details. Go down, upload a photo. We provide you with different photos that you can upload. A Facebook event, they always have a little picture showing kind of like what the event's about. This is the same thing. I will show you some more of those later. I will show you the designs we provide for you. You can also contact the State Democratic Party digital team, and we can make some specialized graphics for you. We had another training on that. I believe it says we try to limit it to 2 to 3 a month. If you need more than that, that is fine, but we also try to have about a week turnaround on it. So, you know, that's just our rule of thumb, but we make some already great pre-made graphics that should cover about every kind of Mobilize event you would need. Contact information. Who's the point of contact for this event? Who's the person that if supporters have questions, they should reach out to? This is where you would go, whether that would be your first vice chair, second vice chair, whether you have a special person, an auxiliary caucus, chair president, that's where that information would go to where they reach out. Do you have any co-hosts? I don't want to reveal every information, but that's other people who can see all the little details of the event. So additional fields, you know, do you want to collect somebody's zip code? Do you want to collect their party registration? Do you want to collect that? That's where you would put. These things are all automatically checked. They are just more information for things that you might want to collect from people. Really what this has to do more with anything is event person retention. You know, if somebody shows up to one event, you want them to show up to more. And really the most important thing to do with that is this last little part right here, where it says attendance or feedback survey via email or messages. And then there's also more event shifts suggestions via email. So those are just different places where, you know, after your event, you send people emails out saying, what did you think of this event, et cetera, and hope that it will keep them coming back to more of your events. Your location, this is optional. You know, you could put virtual event, different things like that there. It just shows you kind of, you know, if the event is in person, where would the event be at? Accessibility. Accessibility is very important to Democrats. We want to make sure that people who are hard at hearing, who have some physical impairments, different things like that, you know, can attend events. But this is where you would list, you know, will there be captioners? Will there be ASL interpreters? Different things like that to make sure that people who might be, you know, disabled know that there are places, you know, will they be able to attend this event and get the full experience out of it? That's very important. If not, because there are some counties, you know, that's something that you might not be able to help. We obviously hope that, you know, maybe we or others can provide resources for you, but this is where you would list all those kinds of details. The schedule is at Eastern time, Mountain time, Arizona time, you know, anything like that, that's where you would put, and then schedule time. Somebody asked, can people sign up for different time slots? Well, the answer is yes, you can add times for the different events. So it's, I don't know, this is more of a once daily start date, end date kind of thing, but people can sign up for different times and things like that. So let's say it occurs once, an event occurs once on June 14th, and it starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 10:30 a.m. Okay, let's say that's one time slot, you add that there. Okay, well, they need another time slot. Same thing. What day did I say? June 14th, I think. Okay, well, let's do another start time from 10:30 to 11. All right, and add times. Well, each of those time slots will show up on the event as a different time that they can click and select for. So they can select one time slot, they can select both time slots. If you have 60 different time slots, they can select the first 3 and then the last 12. With 4 in the middle, you know, it doesn't matter. It's all customizable to that. All right, so that's all about. For the sake of just making this event so I can show you some, just put, we'll go back and 30 thing again. And then go back and do the 10:30 to 11 one again as well. All right, so add times, and now we will create our event. So just give it a minute to create it. So I'm gonna take a sip of water. Your event is live. Next, email attendees about your new event. An email, do you not want to send an email? Because this is an event that isn't gonna be real, we're gonna say don't notify my past attendees. And then here's all information about it. I also want to go back and check because I did not make this this event private. We're going to make it private just because I don't want anybody to think we are actually having a Governor Cooper fan party. And but again, that's the great thing. You can also go back and edit your email. So then we're going to go back to events. And it'll bring you this, and this is where you will see all the information for your events. Also at the bottom, we will get to this later, we'll see your shifts and signups. You can also export this information. So people who sign up, you can get their information, your email list. You can add them to your phone list. You can make sure and email them if something else comes up, different things like that. You will have the information of the people who come to your event, so you can work on building your volunteer base, voter base, all the different things like that. All right. So next, I'm going to talk about one other thing before I get to some of the other nitty-gritty things, which was somebody had earlier asked about their users. And essentially, if you have a county party chair who is no longer the county party chair, who managed Mobilize, and you need other people, how would you go about that? I don't want to share everybody's personal information, but I will click on this shortly. I am an admin on this, which means I can create events. I can edit who has access to events. I can see all the different little nitty-gritty aspects. I have full control over the NCDP Mobilize account, right? Allie here has the same account. She has admin, but I can remove Allie. Well, that's essentially what you want to do. If you have somebody who takes over, you can add them as an admin or something. They will not be signed in via, the North Carolina Democratic Party account, the Henderson County Democrats account. They will be signed in through their own account. They will just have access to your organization, right? And, what role they have, whether it's admin, organizer, trusted host, they will be able to, go through and also help take care of the account. So that is something that you should be able to edit on your own. Again, it's in the same menu tab, just under users. And then promote organizations over here. I'm going to show you this as well. This is how we can share your events. So I edit the state party calendar so that our leadership can see who's having things where, so that, if you're having a guest speaker in, let's say Craven County, somebody over in Ashe County can still, see the event if it's online. So if it's shared via the NCDP Mobilize account. So this is where we go through. We are happy to share, all of your events will pop up. People across the state can see them, but you don't have to let us. If you're a county that really wants to make sure that it's just staying locally to your county, that is completely fine. If you're a county that wants some events to stay locally, feel free to either make it private settings or go back through and make sure that we do not share the event. That is all completely up to you. We can filter promoted events. We can do anything. You can as well. You can promote our events. You don't have to. And you should not worry just because, we promote your events, that random events are going to show up in emails that your list gets from Mobilize. That will not happen. Somebody had a concern earlier about, they get emails from the North Carolina Democratic Party Mobilize suggesting events that are way off and they have no interest in because it's the entire state over. That's because you're signed up and getting emails from the North Carolina Democratic Party. If you don't share those events on your own county account, that will not happen. So that is not something you need to worry about. Again, and somebody else had a question over whether you can, edit text in the different events you make. Well, you can. You just got to go through and, really anything you copy and paste here should show up just fine. My only recommendation is while you toy around with it, make sure your event is private. You can also go back and make it public later. Like you can't schedule an event to just pop up at a certain time, but you can as well make it public, ready for it to go live and people to be able to sign up. That is totally fine. There are no issues there whatsoever. So that should cover most of what we covered in the events and most of the questions we had. The next thing we will get back to is we will get back to our own little event here. And I'm going to go to present. And now that I've walked you through all that, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the different knickknacks that Mobilize provides everybody. So graphics for you to use. I mentioned this earlier when I showed you the photos. Different things, whether you have a weekend of action, a canvas, a campaign office opening, a watch party, anything like that. We make graphics for you to use for that so that our branding can be cohesive, so that it can all look snappy and professional. It gives your events the credibility that they need, and it assures people that this is an official Democratic Party auxiliary affiliate organization. So this is really something we encourage you to use them. Feel free to email us if you need them. You do not just have to screenshot these because, they are made so that, the sizing fits perfectly within the Mobilize cropping ratios and all that, which is something that is really tricky because I have to do it on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram all the time when I make your graphics for there. And, you just don't need to worry about, just use these and it should look professional and great no matter what. Checking your event signups. If you remember when I went to the event editing, at the bottom there was a shifts and signups thing. You would export that. It would show you who all registered for your event, their email, whatever information they have provided. And that will put it all in a nice, like Excel kind of file for you so that you have all the information there and can add them to your email list. Just keep them for data purposes, different things like that. Again, you just click on your event, you scroll to the bottom, it should be there, and you should be able to do that fine. Other types of exports. Mobilize also offers other types of exports. You'll recognize this as, if you click on events, you would be on the page where it would have all the events listed. Just a reminder for the last slide, you have to click on the event in that page. You can't just like randomly click on it and it bring you up to the registration page. You need to do this from your organization event page where you're like kind of behind the scenes and can edit it. But if you go down to exports, you can export all different kinds of things, your shift and volunteer feedback forms, your event export forms to see which events you're posting. This is essentially, some people like to have this information outside of the Mobilize app just for record keeping, just for safety, just to make sure that you will have it. This is all provided within Mobilize, but this is just an option so you can get it exported into another doc and save it somewhere else for, just safety's sake if you choose to. Okay, Zoom and Mobilize integration. This is something that I talked about earlier, which is just an excellent, excellent thing that Zoom and Mobilize have done together. Essentially, what happened before is, before they were integrated, you still wanted to use Mobilize, right? So you could get the information, collect all that from people who were coming to your events. It's very important to be able to build up your volunteer base, to be able to add people to your email list, to build your party or your organization. The issue was when you posted it, say on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and you had signed up for an event on Mobilize here, you would also have to say, and don't forget to register for the Zoom here. They were two separate things. And, sometimes you have to export your list and email the Zoom out to everybody afterwards too. It was just a whole hassle. People would think they were signed up for the event but couldn't get into the Zoom, vice versa. People would show up to the Zoom but you wouldn't have their information afterwards because they didn't sign up via Mobilize. It was a whole mess. The great thing is it is so much easier now because you can integrate them to where when people sign up for the event on Mobilize, they will automatically be registered on Zoom as well. They will automatically get the Zoom link it'll be personalized. The event will be kept secure. Only the people who signed up will be able to access it. But, it's just so much easier to have it all in one place where you don't have to worry about people signing up in two different places. Because realistically, when you're just trying to get people involved, you don't want to make it so much work. You want it to be easy. You want it to be simple. You don't want them to have to stress about it. This is you sign up in one place and you're good. And Zoom will take care of all the links and everything. Just make sure somebody is the host. It shouldn't have to be a party account because everybody has their own individual things when they create events, own individual Mobilize accounts, whatever. So you shouldn't have to have like a party account to be able to do any of that. Just make sure, somebody is set up to host the meeting. Okay, resources. Mobilize has some great guides. I worked on a presidential campaign on campus my freshman year of college, which was way, way back in late 2019 and early 2020. I know I am so old. I had to start Mobilize. I started from scratch. Mobilize help guides are very helpful if you have any questions, but also we are your resource. Don't be afraid to email the North Carolina Democratic Party digital team. Me, Kayla, Allie, or Lillian, we will be there to help you if you need it. But you have Mobilize there 24/7. It might take us a while to respond back. Always check the Mobilize guide. They have very detailed instructions on anything you should have a question about. So just go through, look through it if you have any questions about anything, and it should be able to give you information on it. We have a website to request all digital needs from our team, whether you need us to graphic design something, whether you need us to integrate your Mobilize account to Zoom or to promote it, or whether you need Vote Builder organized into it, van organization. We have every step to organize. I said this earlier. I think I might have got confused. I know van is integrated into it. I am not so sure about a Vote Builder app. I know van is though, and so that's what I meant to say earlier. And then there are also all of our trainings and stuff are going to be here. So different things that you might have missed, things you need to go back and see, they will all be there for you. So with that, this would be where I took questions earlier. I'm so sorry. I was not prepared to. I was prepared to teach this class. It just kind of happened last minute that I was put into the position and I just completely spaced and forgot to press record on our meeting earlier. I will not forget to do that on my next one, which I have in just a little while. But again, I tried to answer all the questions I could remember having. You guys should all have my email. It was my first initial last name at ncdp.org. You guys should also have Kayla's email, so feel free to message her back if you also need anything. I will be with the party through the summer. I am not sure that I will be with them any longer than that because this is a fellowship and I will be moving back to DC for school. But somebody at the digital team will be able to help you if you have any questions. And even if you email somebody who does not deal with that specifically, they will know who can. They will be able to get you help with who can. So with that, I hope I answered all the questions that you guys might have had. Again, you guys will receive this. You guys should receive the slides. And I think that should be about everything. So I hope that really helps you with all you needed. I hope you guys have been able to learn a little bit better about Mobilize. And I really hope if you had some concerns about using it for your county party, I helped alleviate those concerns. Again, this is such a great tool for us to be able to, out-organize Republicans because we have everything all in one spot, to build our base, to have our events, to capture people's information and be able to retain them. So, and it is completely up to you guys, what events you want for your county, what events you want to set up, it is all in your hands. We are here as a resource, but the determinations and all that is up to you guys. So I hope with that, I'm going to end the recording, but I hope that answered your questions. I hope you guys are more comfortable with Mobilize now. And again, any further questions, we are always a resource for you. So with that, that is everything. And I hope you guys have a great day, whatever day you watch this recording. Thank you.